Good afternoon and welcome to Park Life Sport. My name is Cameron Smith. Coming up, we've got plenty to preview. Forest Green Rovers look to continue their impressive form. We'll hear more about the Winter Olympics, which are well underway, and in netball, 7 Stars will be hoping to begin their campaign in style. We start with Gloucester Rugby, who face London Irish at home tonight. The last time the two sides met, it ended in a 25-all draw, so it promises to be a thrilling affair under the lights. Gloucester have won 4 of their past 5 games and now sit 4th in the Premiership, so spirits will be high in the camp. We're now joined live by our rugby correspondent, Harry Thomas, who is stationed at Kingsholm. Well, Harry, it's looking good for the home side at the moment, isn't it?
Cherry Mites come into the game 4th on the table in a great run of form, having lost just once at home in the league since October. A win tonight could see them go 2nd in the league, leapfrogging both Harlequins and Saracens. Meanwhile, London Irish will be searching for only their 3rd Premiership win at Kingsholm, with their last one coming in all the way back in 2013.
And what's the team news, Harry?
Well, Gloucester managed to keep their front row unchanged from the win up at Newcastle, despite missing 5 players for international duty. Rather surprisingly, Mark Paxton was overlooked by England head coach Eddie Jones, but due to injury he was also unavailable. As for London Irish, they made 3 changes to the side that came from behind against Exeter last Saturday. Kyle Rowe, Juan Martin Gonzalez and Ollie Cracknell all come in for Curtis Rona, Sean O'Brien and Tom Pearson.
Just finally, which players should we look out for in tonight's clash?
Well, Gloucester's Rowan Ackerman will be looking to continue his run of form. Ackerman has the most minutes gained by any forward in the Premiership this season at 802. With informed Augustus Creevy still out through suspension, Irish will be looking to commit their more experienced players to guide them through what should be a very close game.
Harry Thomas at Kingsholm Stadium. Thank you, Harry. Moving on to football, and Forest Green Rovers' League 2 clash with Newport County tomorrow. 59 points, 27 games. It's been a monumental start to league action for Rob Edwards' side. They currently sit 8 points clear of second place Tranmere Rovers with a game in hand, despite dropping points against Port Vale on Tuesday night. Edwards will be hoping to extend Rovers' advantage at the top with a win against an in-form Newport County side who have won 4 on the bounce. It marks yet another tricky test for Rovers, but Edwards is relishing their recent run of difficult fixtures.
You want to be involved in the big games. You want to be at the right end of the table. And yeah, the way the games are falling at the moment, there's a lot of big games. But let's be honest, I've said it loads of times here, every game is a big game anyway. The next game is the most important game. It just so happens that we've had recently a lot of the ones that we're vying for the same positions with.
Sticking with Forest Green, and one man they'll be able to count on from the start against Newport is midfielder Ebu Adams. The 26-year-old represented his nation Gambia in their first ever African Cup of Nations in January, helping them reach the quarter-finals. He made his comeback for Rovers off the bench against Port Vale in midweek, just hours after returning from the competition in Cameroon. He's revealed learning from European players was a great experience, and he's admitted to using a strange tactic used to calm his nerves during the tournament.
It's like different. It's weird because it's you learn from different players because you've got players that play in Serie A, you've got players that play for Bologna, Sampdoria, and I can't remember the other teams. You've got players that play in Spain, and it's more like picking their brains as well, like how they play. Like it's how Italy play. Like they're more like tactical, defensive. Spain expressing like technical side of things, and you actually seen players do it, and I have to adapt to myself to play with them. Weird. Like I was nervous until we actually walked out for the national anthem. It was weird because I do a weird thing before every game. I start playing Candy Crush to problem solve and to keep me calm before a game, and it worked as well. Because before the game, I was just literally nervous, shaking. I was like, "Oh, I'm scared." But then as soon as I walked out, done the national anthem, I kept cool, and then the whistle went, I thought, yeah, here we go.
Who would have guessed Candy Crush would be a pre-match ritual? In other AFCON news, Egypt beat host Cameroon on penalties last night, following a 0-0 draw after extra time. They will face Senegal in the final on Sunday. While the men's team face another test in their title charge, Forest Green Rovers women are also in action this weekend. They travel to Torquay United on Sunday with the chance to move within 2 points of their opponents and extend their unbeaten run to 5 games. Sticking with football, and the 4th round of the FA Cup starts tonight, with Manchester United taking on in-form Middlesbrough, who have lost just once in their past 10 games in all competitions. we now cross live to our Manchester United expert, Joe Bleasdale. Joe, what can we expect from tonight's game?
Yes, Cam. It's over to Old Trafford tonight as Manchester United host Middlesbrough in this weekend's first game of the FA Cup fourth round. Obviously, the Red Devils come into tonight's game as heavy favourites, unbeaten in their last 13 games against the Borough. Middlesbrough come into tonight's game in fine form as well, winning 4 out of their last 5 games in all competitions under Chris Wilder. Wilder has won 8 out of his last 12 games, and tonight serves a perfect opportunity for his side to challenge against some stiff opposition. Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are all expected to play, whilst Borough's newest signing, Riley McGee, is ruled out due to testing positive for coronavirus.
Thanks for the insight, Joe. Other standout ties over the weekend include League Two side Hartlepool United travelling to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace, while Plymouth Argyle will get the opportunity to face the European champions Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the lunchtime kick-off tomorrow. Blues legend Frank Lampard will also take charge of his first game as Everton manager at home to Brentford. Moving away from football and on to netball with Gloucestershire's very own 7 Stars. The opening round of the 2022 Vitality Super League campaign gets underway this weekend with 2 rounds at the Resorts World Arena in Birmingham. 7 Stars face Surrey Storm tomorrow before playing Manchester Thunder on Sunday. Stars will be hoping to fare better than last season after finishing 8th in 2021. Just a reminder for any netball newbies out there, the top 4 in the league qualify for the playoffs, while the top 8 go through to the Fast 5 Championship. Finally, the Winter Olympics started in Beijing during the night. The Games take place over a 14-day period, and I'm now joined by our Olympics correspondent, Loz Stanley, who can tell us more. Loz, starting off, how have Britain begun the Games?
Well, just recently in the last 24 hours, we've had the mixed curling event, which has featured Jen Dodds and Bruce Moat for Great Britain. They've won 3 of their first 4 matches in that event so far, so they're in with a great chance of reaching the semi-finals, thus winning a medal for their country. Also, unfortunately, William Fenley failed to qualify for the final of the freestyle skiing in that particular sport, and also in the women's event, the same sport, Leonie Gerken-Schofield, she also failed to reach the final stage of that particular sport.
And what's happening between now and the end of the day?
Well, obviously the main event, of course, is the opening ceremony. We have had some sports already get underway, but the opening ceremony is really when it all gets going, so that's actually taking place right now in Beijing. In terms of the actual sport, we have the biathlon and the sleep scope skiing, which will be happening, and that will feature Katie Omerod, who will be competing for Great Britain in that, and that gets underway at around about 2:45, so make sure you set your alarm for that.
Loz, thank you very much. That's all we've got time for on Park Life Sport. Join us later this afternoon for more sports news.